All rise. Welcome to today's Cambridge Exam Boardroom Trial Explainer. I'll be your judge today as we review a very specific case file, uncovering exactly what Cambridge looks for in AS and A-level mathematics. The charge on the docket? Topic 1.7 on differentiation. We're talking tangents, normals, and increasing and decreasing functions. If you've ever felt like you know the mathematical laws, but your final verdict, your marks, just aren't reflecting it, you're in the right courtroom. We're going to look strictly at what the examiners are testifying to. Let's open the case.
Here is today's docket. 1. The differentiation gap. 2. Core assessment objectives. 3. The procedural framework. 4. Securing method marks. 5. Top 3 examiner traps. And 6. Evaluative thinking for mastery. Let's move right into it.
Section 1. The differentiation gap, bridging a B to an A star.
Now, to understand the stakes here, I want to introduce you to our two junior attorneys representing the candidate pool today. First, we have counsel Alex. Alex represents the B-grade candidate. Alex has incredibly deep evidence files, knows the power rule backward and forward, but completely lacks a closing argument. It's a disconnected, rote understanding. On the other side of the aisle, we have counsel Sam representing the A-star grade candidate. Sam is a persuasive speaker who takes connected, conceptual understanding and transfers it to totally unfamiliar contexts. When a wild curveball shows up, Sam doesn't panic. Sam adapts.
So the crucial takeaway for you is that you aren't just crunching numbers on a page. You are executing a multi-stage analysis built on rock-solid, evidence-based reasoning. Finding the gradient is just step one. Using that gradient to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a function is universally increasing, that requires connecting the dots and building a real case. Section 2. Core assessment objectives. Targeting domains. Let's cross-examine the text and figure out how to frame your opening statement. The examiners are grading you against 3 distinct cognitive domains. First, knowledge and understanding. Do you actually master the fundamental principles of a normal line? Second, application. Can you transfer that to a new scenario? And third, analysis. Can you interpret the data systematically? If your paragraph layout doesn't directly address all 3 of these assessment objectives, your argument is getting thrown out of court.
Section 3. The procedural framework. Actionable skill set.
Here is the exact procedural blueprint, your legal strategy for tackling these 15-mark Cambridge questions. Step 1. Deconstruct the charge. Step 2. Extract the relevant data, like your coordinates. Step 3. Select your analytical framework. Are we setting a derivative to 0? Testing inequalities? Step 4. Execute with crystal clear notation. And Step 5. Present your final case with correct terminology. It's a highly systematic flow.
Let's really drill down on Step 5 for a second. The exam board has strict presentation conventions. Think of this as the formatting of your legal brief. You need proper headings, correct terminology, appropriate formats, and clear annotation. If you find a coordinate, you better annotate what it represents. Is it a turning point? The examiners treat these formatting habits as professional skills. If you skip them, you're losing credibility.
Section 4. Securing method marks. Strategic safety net. Now, bang, bang. Consider the gavel struck. Before we present our closing arguments and get into the strategic safety net, ensure your legal counsel feed is secured. Subscribe to Ace the Exams at the handle Ace the Exams right now and enable all notifications for our weekly masterclasses. Okay, let's resume.
Let's say our attorneys had a logical contradiction mid-paragraph. You drop a negative sign in the final step. Panic, right? No. This is where the method mark strategy saves your life. Think of this as the PL framework for math. Point, evidence, explanation, link. The board awards marks for correctly demonstrating the analytical process, linking your evidence to the thesis seamlessly, even if the final calculation is botched. If you show the correct derivative setup, you're securing method marks. The process itself is your safety net.
Section 5. Top 3 examiner traps where you lose marks.
All right, members of the jury, that means you watching. It's time for some interactive jury duty. We are looking at the 3 biggest examiner traps. Number 1, using the wrong approach for the context. Number 2, forgetting format and presentation. And number 3, generic answers. For challenge 1, imagine a 60-second visual timer on a complex text exhibit. Where do students lose the argument? It's trap number 1. They memorize the law, but apply the totally wrong framework for the specific context of the question.
And that brings us to jury challenge 2, spot the hearsay. Look at this quote directly from the principal examiners. The classic mistake is providing generic answers not specific to the question context. In our boardroom, Generic fluff is hearsay. It's inadmissible. You must always tie your mathematical reasoning directly back to the provided scenario. Don't just quote a general calculus rule, name the specific curve or particle from the exhibit.
Section 6. Evaluative Thinking for Mastery.
So, how do we push past the hearsay? How exactly do top-scoring candidates demonstrate evaluative thinking? It's all about moving from just describing the math to actively justifying every single decision you make. You have to prove why your approach is the definitive truth.
High-level evaluative thinking requires you to interrogate the data. You have to question assumptions, consider different perspectives, evaluate alternatives, and most importantly, justify your decisions with solid evidence. If you claim a function is always decreasing, you can't just say it. You have to justify it by pointing out that the squared term in your derivative guarantees a specific outcome. That's how you win the case.
When you're asked to perform a comparative analysis, here are your rules of evidence linkage. 1. Identify similarities and differences. 2. Use comparative connectives. 3. Support each point with mathematical evidence. And 4. Draw conclusions about relative importance. This creates an optimized, full-mark paragraph that leaves absolutely no room for examiner doubt.
Ultimately, you are demonstrating professional-level evaluation here. You're reading the final verdict. You take the raw data of tangents and derivatives, you evaluate the performance, and you make justified recommendations. That is the A-star closing argument the Cambridge boardroom is waiting for.
So, I leave you with this final thought for the jury room. Will you treat your next 15-mark question as just another random calculation or as a strategic, evidence-based operation? Remember your method marks and always link your evidence. That is the final verdict for today. Make sure to subscribe to Ace the Exams at the handle Ace the Exams. Hit that notification bell and leave a comment down below with your target level and subject. Court is adjourned.